This short little video for Chapter 8 will go over the same problems that we did in class, but in case you forget the steps, I'll show you how to work these problems. So the first one is problem 821, which had to do with the nitrogen fertilizer applications. So it's problem 821. If we look across the data set, here's the data right here. And the first question was a 99% two-sided confidence interval. Okay, so do that, you're going to go to Stat. Now in this case, we know the standard deviation. It's given to us in the problem. So we're going to go to Stat, Basic Stats, and we're going to do a one sample Z because we know sigma. So the known standard deviation in this problem that was given to us was 0.5. So I'm going to go ahead and type that in here. And then I'm going to locate the data, problem 821. And I want to go here to options because it's going to default to a 95% and we want a 99%. And also notice here, this is where you can change to a one-sided, which I believe in the next part of the problem we're going to do. So here's the two-sided. We're going to do OK and OK. And so there's the confidence interval. This is the same one that I got in class right here, 99%. And then the second part of the problem was to do a 95% lower bound. So I'm going to go back up here to Stat, Basic Stats, and I'm going to go one sample Z again. This has been held for me. What I'm going to change now is in the options, and I want the lower bound, and I want a 95%. So I'm going to change this to 95. Excuse me, and then I'm going to do a greater than because I want to know the lower bound on the lower side. So I'm going to go OK, oops, OK, OK, and there's my 95% lower bound. So that's problem 821. The next problem that we used Minitab for was problem 838, which first question was to check the assumption of normality. So you already know how to do that with a histogram or a normal probability plot. And then this is one where we don't know the standard deviation. So we're going to go back to Stats, Basic Stats. Now we're going to go to a T because we don't know the standard deviation for this problem. And I'm going to go ahead and select the data, and it's 838 right here. And the question asks us to do a 95% two-sided. So again, let's go back into options, and it's reset to the two-sided 95. And I'm going to hit OK. OK, there's my 95% confidence interval right there. And then it wants me to do the 95% upper bound. And again, similar to what we did before, we're going to go to Stat, Basic Stats, one sample T. And I want a 95%. But this time I want the upper bound, so that's the less than. Oh, upper bound. Okay, I wanted to make sure. Okay, and there's my upper bound, 8.24550. All right. And let's see what other ones you could do in here. Okay, problem 850 was on the standard deviation. And so again, I'm going to go to Stat, Basic Stats, and now I'm doing one variance. Okay, and I want to pick the data. And it's in column 850. And there's really not any options here. Again, this one had you checking normality, so you want to go ahead and check the normality also, but let's just hit OK. And if you notice in the output here, here's the chi-square. That's what we're using, that methodology. And there's the Bonnet, which is another methodology. But you're going to use the chi-square. So for standard deviation, you would use this output right here. And I think, just glancing through my notes, yeah, that's it for this chapter of the ones that you'll be using Minitab to perform. So this should get you through working the problems that are assigned to turn in.